other people relate to this illustration, I felt like for me, I was living my life and everybody else was living their life. And there was a plexiglass wall and it was on my chest. This is where I would feel it. It's like an anxious pressure right here. Plexiglass. And the plexiglass is like all the way across, eternally all the way across. So if I yell, I'm struggling, people don't hear that. It's just, right? Because they're just living their life. And so I'm in this turmoil and I don't know how to even communicate it. Because it's like, these thoughts are weird. The way I do things, and I'm even watching myself compulsively do things, and I'm like, this isn't normal, but I'm doing it anyways because I feel like I'm going to feel better later. So you've talked about relationship OCD before. I'm wondering if your scrupulosity and intrusive thoughts also affected your relationships, or if you had anxiety socially because of it. Yes, and all the above. Yeah, it affected how I related. I would over-apologize. I still have aspects to where in my relating, I want to make sure the person understands my heart towards them. And I will overcheck, my mind. I've learned not to compulsively feed that, but I'll still have that, I hope that, but was very, very bad in years past. So you're saying, I'm wondering if your scrupulosity and intrusive thoughts also, well, the biggest way that it affected my relationships. The biggest way is it never let me be present. And being present is one of the most important things to have in life, period. I'm not to be obsessed about tomorrow. I can think about tomorrow. I can plan for tomorrow. Jesus said, take no thought for tomorrow. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't live in that, right? I can say, okay, on the 31st, this is what I have scheduled, right? But I'm not to live there. I'm not to live in the past, right? I learn from the past. The past arrives to the present all the time, right? In how I say and do things. And the past influences that, right? So, okay, God does a healing work, but I'm not to stare at it and live in it, right? That's not healthy either. Present. Here and now. That's the beautiful place to be. OCD steals that. Doesn't allow you to be present. So I'm looking at you. I'm nodding. I'm making eye contact. But I didn't really take in what you said. So this is one of the hardest things in helping people with OCD. They have their subject, whatever that subject is, right? Whatever that, that area. Let me grab a blank piece of paper. Whatever that subject is that they're thinking about, it's like talking to somebody like this. Right? Because whatever it is, have I lost my salvation? Have I lost my salvation? Was I never saved? How do I truly know I'm saved, right? So this is what it does. And I'm like, hey, so I was going into, and right. It consumes. So it doesn't allow you to be present. So part of OCD is actually when you're with someone, just listen. Because you can't listen and spin at the same time. One of them will take over. And I'm going to say something as a brother from another mother to all my OCD brothers and sisters. Are you ready? Are you ready? If you're lost and you're distracted and you're searching online about my willful sin or whatever, I'm going to say something and I want it as a brother to you. OCD strugglers, this doesn't mean it's permanent. This is an observation we need to be aware of. OCDers are not good listeners because we got the subject that we're staring at and thinking about. So that's why we we say, did I commit the unpardonable sin? We need to understand how OCD works. And they're hearing, well, this is and they're lost in, yeah, but I don't know, yeah, but they're, yeah, but, All their yeah buts are going
nonstop. Yeah, but what if, yeah, but Mark, you don't really, yeah, but.
Our butt keeps us from listening. We don't listen. We're not hearing what's being said. So being present is a part of the antidote to the healing journey for what we need. And that was something I thought God, my wife wrote, boom. Are you booming to me, babe? If you are, mwah, love you. If you're booming to something somebody else said, that's fine too. Like many of you out there, Lexi, I see you. Just telling you, I see you. Many of you out there, this is how you live. I'm gonna tell you how you live. I'm gonna get in your box of Wheaties for a second, okay? You have your relationship with God over here, and your relationship with people over here. So you separate those things out. They don't really interact with each other. And God's like, nope. I'm actually working in your relationship world. I'm actually in your relationship world helping you to learn me. This is why my wife and I talk so much about what's our relationship pattern, how we relate, what we do relationships. So I realized, I stopped and I looked around. I said, you see all these people? Now, this is when I was working in a church. See all these people? These aren't just brothers and sisters in Christ. This is part of my healing. This God in them is connecting to me so that I learn how to be present in the moment and extract the beauty of the glory that is available right here and right now. Yeah, but what if I committed the unpardonable sin? You didn't listen. And that's what I had to realize. So I'd be like, so how do I know she's the one I should marry? Mark, you didn't listen. You didn't listen. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. But so for a month, because I can do this with OCDers, I'm going to create a rule for you. And they're like, oh, snap. Get my pencil out right now. He's giving us a rule. Step number 1. For 30 days, I want you to be aware of every time in your thoughts and in your actions, you say, yeah, but what if? Yeah, but, or yeah, but what if? See how many times your but shows up. And start to become aware of how you do that. When you talk to somebody about your problem and you go, yeah, but, right? We have to start doing this. This is a lost art. When somebody shares something with you, you respond back as to an acknowledgement of what they're saying, rather than going into the pre-recorded script that then just goes, because we're not listening. And we want God to do something, but then we don't realize God's using somebody's voice to speak into my life. I need to be willing to hear it, because OCD makes us very, very stubborn.